A First Alert update on a story that Action 2 News first brought you back in 2022. A Brown County Circuit Court judge denies class action status to a lawsuit over delays with appointment of public defenders. The group of inmates filed a lawsuit in Brown County Court, calling the delays a, quote, constitutional crisis, end quote. The lawsuit names Governor Tony Evers and members of the Wisconsin Public Defender Board. In a ruling released this week, the judge in the case says if others want to sue, they would have to do it individually or in small groups. Judge Thomas Walsh says there are too many different reasons why a public defender is delayed, including whether there are enough lawyers serving that particular area. The judge also saying there's no evidence the public defender's office intentionally delayed any cases. The Wisconsin